Hello and welcome to Prudent IAS, one-stop solution for all the competitive exams. First of all, thank you so much for showing so much interest in our mentorship program and even appreciating our aim of making UPSC preparation affordable for all the students. This is what keeps us motivated. Coming back to this video, the topic for the day is the Panchayat system, India's grassroots democracy. Now, the approach for this video will be the same. We will choose this topic, do some discussion over this topic, then I'll be phrasing one sample model question and then giving you a sample model answer. Because this is an answer writing series, the discussion will be based on the answers, how you need to write, how you need to make notes, write answers, etc. India's Panchayat system brings democracy to more than 6 lakh villages. It derives from Panch in Sanskrit, which means 5. Panchayati Raj is the system of rural, local self-government in India. It aims to decentralize the governance and empower the people at the grassroots. The 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1992 formalized this ancient tradition. It now functions nationwide except in few states like Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram. So, it is democracy at the grassroots level. Now, what you need to keep in mind is first of all the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. Second, the year 1992 states where it is not implemented. I'll be highlighting the facts time and again throughout this video. Before that, what is the UPSC relevance of this topic? It might pop up as a static question, checking all your factual knowledge as well as a dynamic concept because there are certain challenges, contemporary issues and challenges. Under GS paper 2, section governance and polity, in essay ethics, question might pop up from citizen-centric approach, what are the issues, how they can be resolved, measures, suggestions, etc. Examples from current affairs, for example, devolution debates, financial devolution debates, administration devolution debates, finance commission grants, role during the COVID. So these are all the key points. What is the historical background in ancient India? In the Rig Veda, evidence is of Sabha and Samiti. In modern empire, village assemblies. So the concept is not new to India. We have this concept in our own tradition. But what happened after the 73rd Amendment Act? This was formalized and given a constitutional status. In British period, the Panchayat lost the relevance. Why? Because the tendency of the British rule was centralized. Centralized, bureaucracy dominated. So they focused more on the bureaucrats rather than the grassroots. In 1882, Lord Ripon's resolution on local self-government is often known as the Magna Carta of local democracy. So all the key points are listed over here which you need to keep in mind. This can be used while writing the answers. From the topic Panchayat, one very important section for doing in detail study is the important committees on Panchayat. You will have to know about all these committees in some detail. These are the key recommendations, but apart from that, you need more in-depth analysis. So I'm already making a list of all the topics suggested by you. You can, if you want more analysis on this topic as well, just let me know in the comment section and I'll make a detailed video in the detailed video series after the answer writing series. First up is the Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. What you need to keep in mind, the year 1957, 3-tier system, block level focus. So in 1959 in Nagaur, Rajasthan already, this Panchayat system was established. But what happened? Ashok Mehta Committee came in 1977. Each of the committees tried to give some authority, some recommendation and ultimately the constitutional status to the 3-tier government system. But in the Mehta Committee, they focused more on 2-tier system instead of the previous 3-tier system. Here, the planning unit was kept as district. So first of all, let me just give you a brief idea about the tier system. At the lowest level is the village. Then a group of villages will make a block. right? And a group of blocks will make a district. So this is the 3-tier system. Some, like Ashok Mehta, wanted a 2-tier system where district was kept as the main planning unit. Mehta committee, the Balwant Rai Mehta wanted block level focus. Now the GVK Rao committee in 1985, it said that the Panchayati Raj institutions are key to the rural development. So time and again the importance of this institution has been established and recommended by all the committees. Then came the LM Singhvi committee in 1986. This recommended giving constitutional status to the PRIs. Very important, LM Singhvi committee. Then came the second ARC in 2007, which recommended full devolution of the 3 Fs. Now these 3 Fs can be used apart from the recommendation. In writing answers, in writing essays, you can use these points. What are the 3 F? Fund, functions and functionaries. So they need to be independent about these 3 Fs, and the devolution needs to be full and complete for the proper functioning of the Panchayati Raj institutions. So post the LM Singhvi committee, when the constitutional status was recommended in 1992, the 73rd amendment was brought in. Now the Constitutionalization 73rd Amendment Act 1992, we'll look at the key provisions first. It inserted Part 9, Articles 243 to 243O in the Constitution. See, if it's not, you are not good at learning facts, then at least know about the Part 9, what all provisions it covers, like 243 to 243O, and in these cover the major provisions relating to tenure, elections, state finance commissions, etc. Then the 11th schedule was also added. Now what's written in the 11th schedule? 29 subjects for the panchayat. For example, agriculture, health, sanitation, roads, etc. These all local level subjects are given under the panchayats. The structure is now 3-tier system, Article 243B. What is the system? As already mentioned, at the lowest level is the Gram Panchayat. Now see, in the village level, there are 2 key points to note. First is the village Panchayat, and second is the Gram Sabha. Now Gram Sabha consists of all the eligible voters, that is all who are above 18 years will be a part of Gram Sabha. Now this Gram Sabha will elect amongst themselves a panchayat consisting of 5 people, because panch means 5 over here. This will include one head who is known as the sarpanch. Now this will function as a local system of administration. Basic judicial functions are also given, and they will be deciding on the local disputes. Then comes the Panchayat Samiti at the block level. Now how you need to jot down the key points, like for example, the populations having less than 20 lakh, they need not to have the Panchayat Samiti. So focus on the minute details, because the questions are coming from these only. There's very less probability that the question will directly be on Part 9 or 11 schedule, but in between the lines. So start reading in between the lines. Next up at the district level is the Zilla Parishad. So from these village, a block is constituted. When a group of villages will come together, what will be the consisting of? The Panchayat, that is the Panch, Sarpanch and the Panchayat. So all the villages having these Panchayat, they will be a part of block, and the head of this block will be the block Pramukh. Now all these block Pramukh, MLA will be the part in district. The district will be led by the IAS officer. So this is the basic understanding how this system functions. Elections will be held mandatory. Regular elections are devised. They must be conducted every 5 years as per Article 243E. Now conducted by the State Election Commission. Very important to note that Article 243K says this will be under State Election Commission and not the Election Commission of India. So coming to the reservations, 33% reservations for women is what is written, but many states have implemented more than 50% reservations for women. in their Panchayati Raj institutions, be it Rajasthan, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, etc. SC/ST reservation is also mandatory. We need to reserve seats for them, but as per the population. The finances, State Finance Commission, Article 243I says that a State Finance Commission needs to be constituted every 5 years for devolution of the finances. Grants in aid from centre based on Finance Commission recommendation. Now here what the issues is all about, because this is grants in aid, so it is totally dependent on the centre and the Finance Commission, how much fund to give to each panchayat, and is that fund is actually reaching that panchayat. The Gram Sabha is under Article 243A, so it is a directly elected, the directly elected representation is by Gram Sabha, so the role is very important. It is the heart of grassroots democracy, comprised of all the registered voters of a village, and then there will be elected, directly elected panchayats. So the only system of direct elections. Let's come to the functioning and devolution. Under functioning, we will first see the functional devolution. How is it happening? 29 subjects transferred in principle, but implementation will vary across these states. So yes, it is written in the constitution that these 29 states are for the panchayats, but the implementation is varying. Kerala and Madhya Pradesh have better devolution records. So what you need to do is be updated, note down which are the states who are doing better on the devolution records, which are the states who are having more than 50% reservation, and use this data in the answers. Coming to the financial devolution, Panchayati Raj institutions depend heavily on state and central grants, so they are not able to implement the schemes properly. 14th and 15th Finance Commission has increased the direct transfers. 14th Commission was more than the 15th one. 15th Commission, I guess, is approximately 2.36 lakh crores, and the 14th one was 2.86 lakh crores. The figure is not important, but you need to look at the pattern, that which is increasing, which is less. So yes, the 14th and 15th Commission have increased the direct transfers. Administrative devolution, the functionaries often remain accountable to the state departments. Now they are not totally independent, so the capacity building remains very weak. What are the contemporary challenges? Now this is where a question might come in the exam, so you need to have a proper in-depth analysis. While reading this topic, if you are making yourself notes, then make it in this structure only, because this is how you are going to write in the exams. Always make notes as per the answer. Do not make it in a rough manner. This will help you in developing language proficiency, better structure, and better writing speed as well. First up is the lack of funding. Panchayati Raj institutions frequently lack the funding which is necessary to perform the duties in an efficient manner. This may make it more difficult for them to carry out the development initiatives and offer the essential services to the communities. Basic point very clear, funding nahi hai. Second is the restricted authority and capabilities, because they have limited capability, limited authority as compared to the other governmental levels. So it makes it more difficult to handle the local problems, because agar sansadhan nahi, if they won't have the resources, how will they handle the local problems? How will they build roads if they don't have the funds? Lack of trained staff and weak capacity. Now many Panchayati Raj institutions are unable to perform their duties. Why? Because trained staff nahi hai, no capacity, poor planning and execution of development initiatives. For any administrative unit to function, first what is important is training. You must have a proper training about handling the local problems, planning, how to resolve the local problems. Next up will come funding. To implement the schemes and again actually build roads and infrastructure. So Panchayati Raj institutions are lacking on all three as parameters. Limited involvement of the unrepresented groups. Yes, women representation is increasing, but they frequently participate in the PRIs at low rates, which might hinder their capacity. So it is often seen that if the woman is the sarpanch, then the decisions are usually taken by the husband. So just to fill in the seat of women's seat, reserved seat, the male might nominate his wife, and ultimately the power relies in the male hands. So this also hinders the capacity to adequately represent the interest of the community, the women interest and problems related to women. Political meddling and interferences. So PRIs, as always mentioned, independent and decision-making procedures may be compromised by political meddling because there is a lot of interference. So there might be biasness, corruption, and all sorts of criminalization. Limited information availability because they frequently lack the information required to develop the projects and make well-informed decisions. Again, the planning part, training part, information research is lacking. Ineffective collaboration with other governmental levels. PRIs may encounter challenges in cooperating with other governmental levels, which may impede their capacity to carry out the developmental initiative and offer community services. Now, note down a frequent things. The language is very simple to understand, but we have covered a number of dimensions. The challenges are covered. If you need to keep in mind, you can always use some short forms, some abbreviations, right? For example, here you can P, L and C. Such abbreviations are very helpful. Trust me, under the challenges, if you will recall in this way. You can choose other method as well, but the main point is you must have a better understanding and more dimensions at hand. What are the reforms and the way forward? First up, these suggestions are given by the second ARC to enhance the India's Panchayati Raj institution. So again, you are getting a source, the second ARC. What are the news resources? Of course, the newspapers, the PIB, and then the recommendations of the committees and ARC reports. Very important, just jot down some facts from these reports and use these facts in multiple answers to enrich your answers. So first up is the enhancing the financial standing. So what were the problems? Training, planning, funding, etc. On those levels only we'll be giving the solution. So first up is the finances. In order to perform their duties differently, it suggested that giving them a larger portion of resources and financial independence is required. Simple to understand. Increasing authority and capabilities. Again, to handle the local challenges, it suggested the PRIs must be granted some authority and capabilities. Enhancing the PRI's functionary capability and training. So it suggested creating a National Institute for Panchayat Leadership and Training to offer the functionaries the required training and leadership skills and capacity building. So on all three parameters of planning, capability, finances and training, we have given the solutions. Next up, encouraging the involvement of women and the underrepresented groups because it was a challenge, so we need to tackle it. So we need just including setting aside seats for them and offering them assistance and training. We need to keep a check that actually the woman candidate is taking part or the male counterpart. So the independence, of course, it suggested that actions to safeguard the interest of the PRIs against the political interference and guarantee their independence because they will be somehow accountable to the state. They will not function properly. So we need to make sure that they have some independence. Improving the collaboration, again, this was an issue. So on the same grounds, the ARC has suggested that make PRIs more coordinated with the other government levels. Now, this what we have studied. If you will read the recommendations, a very important point to be noted. Of any committee, of any ARC or anything, then what will you realize? That first, these are the recommendations. That means that on these grounds are the challenges. So you can phrase challenges as well as the reforms from these recommendations only. These sources will tell you, the recommendations will tell you that these are the areas where challenges are persisting. You need to find out the examples and your answer is ready. You will have the challenges, you will have the appropriate recommendations and examples at hand. And that's enough to write a good answer. Now, some examples which can be used, just a glance I'm mentioning, you can add many more. For example, the initiative. Now, if a question pops up, then you can always use such table structures. That's why I'm using different structures also. E-Gram Swaraj portal, Ministry of Panchayati Raj. Very important to note here is I have used the short forms, but you will always write in full forms. Accounting, planning, progress, monitoring. This is all the functions of the Swaraj portal. Audit online is again under Panchayati Raj Ministry, digital audit of the Panchayat finances. Swamit scheme, Survey of India. So property cards to village using the drone mapping. So these are some schemes which can be used as examples. What else can be added? This is from the current affairs. Keep it updated, read newspapers, make a sheet where you will be adding all the points related to the Panchayati Raj. And yes, one very important point is case studies. If a panchayat is doing good, they have taken some initiative, or some is facing a problem, then it's important for you to develop at least 1 to 2 case studies. So Rajasthan has 50% reservation for women in the Panchayati Raj, can be used as an example. In Kerala, the People's Plan campaign high devolution scores, so it is doing very good on the Panchayati Raj indicators. Odisha, the Palli Sabha for participatory budgeting. So these examples will fetch more marks and enrich the write-up. So Odisha, the Palli Sabha, these are the key terms. I'll be telling you about the terminology as well. Chhattisgarh Nyaya Panchayat for minor disputes. Now they have some judicial mechanisms for handling over the minor disputes. And trust me, these small panchayats, Nyaya Panchayats, are ultimately lessening the burden of our judiciary. So Gujarat, e-budgeting in the PRIs. COVID responses, of course, in PRI. In the COVID, they played major role in the rural quarantine and vaccination drive. The role played by the Panchayati Raj was huge. This can be even used as an example and case study. Now, I always say use specific terminology. So I have started pointing out to some terminologies as well in few of the lectures. The terminologies which can be used in any answer related to the Panchayati Raj. First up is the 3F, that is fund, functions and functionaries. While writing essays, while writing any dimension, you can work on these 3 Fs. Then the subsidiarity principle, that is the decisions at the lowest competent level, highlighting the importance of the democracy at the grassroots level. So subsidiarity principle can be written. Democratic decentralization, you can use a word like democratic decentralization, that is the core of grassroots empowerment. These words need to be a part of your answer. Social audit, tool of transparency. While writing the recommendations, you can write it, the social audit can be done. The elite capture, because there are the dominance in the Panchayati Raj, what is happening? See, in the village, there might be some elite class, some are who have more resources than the others. So they might dominate. So we can use the term elite capture. Next, the cooperative federalism, the term which we studied in the federalism lecture, with strong local governments. So we need to develop the cooperative federalism where local government is also seen as a proper wing. Inclusive governance, role of women, SCs, STs, while indicating about the underrepresentation of these groups. The recommendation can be given to make panchayats more inclusive, to promote the inclusive governance. Then participatory planning, another key term that can be used, Gram Sabha and bottom-up approach. So, 2 kinds of approach, of course, the top-down and the bottoms-up. Which is better? Because bottoms-up is always better, because they will be from the roots, the issues, and then accordingly the planning will be done. If you will plan something and implement it without even knowing the issues, then it won't be as much effective as the bottoms-up approach. First look at the issues, then develop the plans, and again implement those plans to tackle the issues. So a major part of our video, a model question. Local governments are critical to India's development story. Of course, yes, they are critical, yet they are the weakest link in the chain of governance. Now discuss. We need to discuss first about the statement. Yes, we need to discuss. But we need to keep in mind special reference to the role of PRIs in planning and implementation of rural development programs. It is a 15-mark, 250-word answer. That is a long answer. What I suggest you to do now, just pause this video, write an answer yourself. What you can do is just send us your answers in a Telegram group, or you can just do some self-evaluation when I'll be discussing the answers in the upcoming slide. Just please make sure that you use a timer and keep a check on the time, because in the mains paper, the most important parameter is completing the paper in given time. So just start writing, and if you are taking 17 to 18 minutes right now, make it 12 to 13. This will come with regular answer writing practice, and answer writing has a huge role to play. It will decide your rank. So please do not ignore answer writing. Let's come to the model answer. Of course, always follow the intro, body, conclusion approach. I have repeated these parameters a number of times. My students are already bored, I guess. So I won't repeat it, but yes, if someone is new watching this video, please look at all the previous videos where I have pointed out the parameters number of times. So intro, body, conclusion approach, you won't write this heading. The 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992, what we are doing is we are clearly mentioning the facts, the amendment and its year. It established the Panchayati Raj institutions as India's third governance tier. Despite comprising 2.6 lakh panchayat with over 30 lakh elected representatives, PRIs are still struggling with limited autonomy and capacity, hampering their effectiveness in the rural development. So, as much facts as possible are included. It is a 15-mark question, so we can use 2 lines for writing the answer. Same, it's the pattern which you are going to follow. This cannot be omitted. This is a static fact, right? You need to mention this. Apart from it, if you have some dynamic fact as well, then incorporate it. This will give an insight about the topic. So yes, they are struggling with the limited autonomy and capacity. That is the demand of the question. In the body of answer, which is the main component of the answer, what we are going to do? First, write a heading. This heading must resonate the demand of the question. Do not write any heading like the Panchayati Raj. No. Write a self-explanatory heading, that is a role in the development, planning and implementation. Highlight it. Then use the alphanumeric digits. What are alphanumeric digits? How you need to highlight it, all is already said in the previous videos. So you can use the heading subheading format, or you can use flowchart, timeline, any structure. Make sure it's neat, presentable and following all the parameters discussed. So first is the participatory planning. Second is the flagship schemes execution, social justice inclusion and service delivery. What we are focusing on now, what is important over here is you have read about some static content about Panchayati Raj. The question is a bit dynamic, that what is the role in the development planning and its implementation? Are you going to write the key provisions, right? The reservation, elections? No, do not write what you know, but link it with the demand. So the information which we have, the information which we'll get from newspapers, PIBs, ARC recommendations, we are going to link all of that and present this answer. That is, first, what is the role? It makes the planning more participatory. The planning committees integrate the Gram Panchayats, which are under Article 243 ZD. Again, wherever possible, include the facts. Flagship scheme execution, they are the nodal for various schemes. If possible, write the full forms of all the schemes. Manrega, Awas Yojana, Swachh Bharat, NRM, and give an example. For example, Rajasthan PRI implemented over 60% of the MG Narega's work. The report is by the Ministry of Rural Development 2022. So you need to avoid all these short forms and write in the full forms. Right? While writing the handwritten answer, what you need to do? Underline all the keywords. Keywords mean these schemes. Sometimes the students, what they are doing is they are underlining this whole part. Participation of SC/ST. Now, participation of SC/ST is not a keyword, just SC/ST, and women is the keyword. Why to add these articles and punctuations and etc.? So the social justice and inclusion, Gram Sabha ensures the participation of SC/ST women, which we have already read under the reservation point. But here, how we are going to address the demand, that how they can be implemented by social justice and inclusion. We need to include more, and the provision that is mandated is 33%, but yes, 50% ho chuka hai in Bihar, Odisha and many other states. Service delivery, water, sanitation, housing, education, these all subjects are managed by the PRIs, agriculture, roads, etc. So the content is what we have read, but the way that we have presented that content is addressing the demand. So if you want a comment from the evaluator that the content is addressing the demand of the question, please write in this format only. Now, because there was a statement and the question was saying discuss on basis of that statement. So if this had been a 10-mark question, then what we have done? We would have just written the first dimension. This is it. We have written with special reference to this role. The direct demand is addressed. But since it's a long answer, what we'll do, we'll also mention how they are remaining the weakest link. So we are discussing with respect to the statement as well. Again, the similar structure is being used, heading, subheading format, because I prefer it. It's very neat, presentable and concise. And again, once you have all the subheadings, then you can write something. inside these points. If you have facts, write those facts. If you don't have facts, just explain these points in very layman language. This will come with continuous practice. So incomplete devolution, 15 seats, only approximately 15 seats are devolved. The states have devolved the 29 subjects under the 11th schedule, very major problem. Fiscal dependence, skill deficit, accountability. Yes, the skill deficit are training lacking in training, planning, accounting and digital tools. Then the financial dependence, because the funds are coming in from the grants from central or state governments, though the 15th Finance Commission, as mentioned, has increased the direct transfers, but yet the problem is prevailing. Accountability gaps, because there are no social audits. If there are social audits, then they are very weak. Bureaucratic overreach is also existing. So all these are the points where the Panchayati Raj is unable to implement the development and infrastructure programs. No matter what you are going to write in the introduction and body, save some word limit for conclusion. Now the conclusion, don't give this heading, just write a balanced summarizing conclusion where you will write all the points in a positive manner, that yes, despite there are some failures, there can be some reforms, and just end it on that note. So what is the reform? Strengthening the PRIs through real devolution. Capacity building. Fiscal autonomy is crucial to India's inclusive development. Now note the terminology. We have mentioned inclusive development, we have mentioned the fiscal devolution, capacity building. All these terms need to be written in the topic regarding the Panchayati Raj. This inclusive development, autonomy can be used in multiple other subjects, other topics as well. So as Gandhi envisioned, empowering the villages is key to making democracy work from bottom up. If possible, write a quote. If not, just end it here, but do not skip the conclusion. Always end on a positive note. So this is it for today. I hope this topic is pretty much clear to you all. We'll be back with another video very soon. Just subscribe our channel Prudent IAS on YouTube for more such videos, and join our Telegram group Answer Writing by Prudent IAS. Thanks for watching.